Wish that I could find the words to describe you now, as I'm lying next to you and the world goes quiet. Wish that I could make you see how you fit me perfectly, and I fall for you again. We've been through it all. You're the one who understands. In a world where hope grows thin, you've completed me, and the story left within tells me how to breathe.
Okay, now it's fine. Now sitting down, then we will not use anything. We are different within the second room. From the second room, one to the two. He's coming. Yes. Oh. Thank you. You may be seated.
There's quite a number of people standing in the back.
Good morning, everybody. Normally it's not easy to speak in front of such a large crowd of people. I just want, on behalf of the entire team, please accept our deepest sympathy for the whole family, for the Arendse family, and Lucinda, and everybody that's part of his family. We as a company always put our family first, and Jodi was part of our family in our work environment. He came with a smile at work and sometimes with a joke. We always laugh at his flow jokes. But that's the way sometimes a team thinks. He was a team player and respect his colleagues. He always will go the extra mile for his team. Most importantly, he taught us to be a team player and how to put your family's interests above all. Thank you.
Good morning, dear brothers, dear sisters, friends, family, and colleagues. It was 8 months ago, as Shepherd said, that I stood in front under very different circumstances, a celebration at the wedding. And now I stand in front of you, yes, in a slightly different situation. My name is Kristen, and I am Jodi's brother-in-law. At the outset, I would like to thank each and every one for all the phone calls, messages of condolences, thoughts and prayers, which has given the families much comfort and strength during this time of bereavement. Thank you. Included in these messages of condolences that we received, and I would like to quote and share with you a few, which speaks to Jodi's personality and his character. Jodi was one of the most amazing humans to walk this earth. Second comment, Jodi was an amazing person, always a smile on his face, no matter what. Jodi was such a nice guy. Jodi will always be remembered by his smile. That smile comes through again. Yes, I can still see him receiving the holy sealing and that proud smile on his face. Jodi was such a funny guy, as we heard in the divine service. I will miss his sense of humor. Indeed, God needed Jodi more there than here. He was a really great person. I will remember him as a friendly and dedicated person. His positive attitude and friendliness was awesome. Jodi, you were an awesome young man. Another comment, we did not know him for long. However, he crept into our hearts from the get-go. And one final quote that I'd like to leave with you. We were good friends back in our younger days, And it's really sad knowing such a humble and jovial spirit individual is gone. Jodi, aka known as Joa, was a son, he was a brother, he was also the godfather to Ziona and Ayana that is here with us. He was a husband, he was a cousin, he was an uncle, he was a friend, and he was a colleague. I met Jodi at work, and we worked at I was in sales and Jodi was in operations, but we were based at the same branch in Rondebosch. So I can do a little bit of a testimony to Jodi's work, having worked with him, and his ethic. His work ethic was exemplary, and this was evident in the service he rendered in a service-driven industry. We heard that this morning. You know, when you're in a service-driven industry, that's the only differentiator. You have a Toyota Corolla parked in Bay 26, and you have a Toyota Corolla parked in Bay 57 from a different company. The Toyota Corolla is the same. They're both white. They both have 6 steering wheels, a spare wheel, and 6 wheels, 4 wheels, a steering wheel, and a spare wheel. I must say though that the blue car rental vehicles was sea-facing, so Bay 26 was sea-facing. But that's what separated you from the rest. And as Shepherd spoke this morning and mentioned in the divine service, that he rendered that service to the customers. He was reliable, and one could always have the reassurance that if you asked him anything, that he would have actioned it and that he would deliver. He had a wonderful relationship with his internal and his external customers. And this was evident, and it reflected in the amount of compliments I received. I remember whilst working there, you got a compliment, you received a voucher from, I don't know if it's still like that, yeah, but you got a voucher and he came home with a few Pick n Pay vouchers, I must say so, yeah. Yeah. He was a team player and always went beyond the call of duty to assist where required. It was a pleasure working with Jodi, and I'm sure the company will miss his presence. So the same Jodi that was a colleague later became my friend. And I'm wondering, now that I think about it, if Jodi really became my friend because he wanted to be my friend, or because he wanted Lucinda's number. Which I must admit I was a bit hesitant to give him. I eventually gave him purely based on the premise of a comment and a discussion that I had with a colleague, Ashley, and what he had shared with me. He said to me, Kirsten, Jodi is a good guy. He gives his all, but he's often disappointed. And then I immediately drew an analogy between Jodi and Lucinda. Bearing in mind, he didn't have the number yet. And I thought of Lucinda and I thought, but Lucinda also gives her all. And often Lucinda is also disappointed. So it was a perfect match for me, which then led me to eventually giving in and giving the number. They still disagreed until recently at the wedding if the initial meeting took place at Checkers, in the lift at Checkers, in the Riverside Centre, or in the parking lot at Checkers, in the Riverside Centre. I can thank heavens they agreed that it was only a Checkers in the Riverside Centre, because can you imagine if there was a Pick n Pay or Spar in the Centre? I don't know if they would have reached consensus, and this was up until the wedding. During this time I got to know Jodi very well. He was a friendly, respectful, kind, helpful and reliable person with a great sense of humor. He was quite a handy man and knew his way around his tools, able to repair almost just about everything. I can now see our house falling apart now that Jodi is not there anymore. The interactions whilst Jodi was doing the work and I was the labourer handing him the tools, because that was my job. He made it very clear, I'm here, I've got the expertise how to do this, you will pass me the tools. So I was always the boy running around, fetching the tools and But I will remember those interactions that we had whilst we were repairing the light or whatever it is that we were doing. I remember him shocking one day. Him and Lucinda was just about to go close, and they moved in on from Checkers, and then I started shopping at Spar. Probably because of the vouchers, because of all the compliments he received. And I remember him shocking one day, and he now couldn't be cross with me, but he was really upset with me that day because he had shocked on my wires. So I remember that very, very fondly. Jodi was also quite a clumsy guy, I must tell you. He was inquisitive. So when you walk past something, you wanted to pick it up and you wanted to see how does this thing work. And often in the process, Jodi would drop this particular thing and break it. Kim, Angus' wife, who's present here today, made the comment the other day that Jodi owes her 12 glasses. He visited his best friend Angus and Kim weekly. Kim, I am sure it is more than 12 glasses, but do my calculation right. Jodi and Lucinda, they bought a fly swatted tennis bat that shot the living daylights out of flies. On one occasion, Jodi was so impressed with his new toy that he smacked the clock right off the wall. Lucinda embraced these characteristic traits in Jodi, but it was never a frustration for him. You know, when you would drop something or knock something over, she would just glance over to him and just either give him a little bit of a look, maybe roll her eyes just a little bit, but she embraced that characteristic trait in Jodi. Needless to say, even though she wasn't upset about the clock, when she looked, he was busy putting the clock back together. Jodi then became family. Jodi and Lucinda's relationship progressed and eventually culminated in marriage in September last year. It was not just an ordinary marriage, but it was a match made in heaven. They would do anything for each other, and here I would like to reference what he said to her in the week before passing on. He said, "I love you more than I love myself." They hardly had disagreements, and there was an understanding between them that I still cannot understand. They treasured each other and brought out the best in each other without compromising who they are. They basically complemented each other perfectly. The family often got together for special events and celebration, and we had this basketball, and the people would be around, and the moment Jodi walked in, I remember him arriving in his Lakers top and his Jordans, because we got a new basketball now that Jodi had brought. But Jodi didn't care who was around. He bounced that ball no matter what the event was. He bounced it and he was shooting. And then on the odd occasion we would have a swim together, and he would be diving. He'd be the only one to dive in and jump in. He was that type of person. And often you'd hear the comment out of the corner. He would speak to Graham. Graham having to watch while he dived and must say, "Graham, do you see how good that was? Do you see how good that was?" He splashed everybody around. It's almost like he was there, but he was not there. He just enjoyed himself. He had fun, and that's who Jodi was as a person. Jodi attended divine service with Lucinda. He later was adopted, as we heard this morning, and sealed. I too have never witnessed such excitement. And as the shepherd mentioned this morning, he wanted a party. He wanted a party for everybody. He had a strong faith and belief. And here I'd maybe just like to pause here and say to you that we don't know where each other's levels of faith are. So it's a very strong statement that I made this morning. And I'd like to justify and back that up. So I was not able to be at Jodi's sealing that night. I was traveling. But when I wished him, and Jodi had shared with me what was going to happen that night, that the love of God will be outpoured into his heart through the Holy Spirit by the hands of the living apostle, and that he would now need to align his life in accordance with what the blessing that he would receive. It gave me an understanding, or it gave me the confidence of Jodi's understanding. And I felt the need that I needed to back that statement up. Little did we know that Jodi was being prepared for a greater purpose, to continue his work in the beyond, with special reference to one of the comments, and I paraphrase, "Indeed, God needed Jodi more there than here." In closing, Jodi touched the hearts of so many in such a short period. When Jodi passed on, there was a common sense of disbelief, shock, anger, confusion, and extreme sadness. In some instances, he literally had 1 or 2 encounters with these individuals. Literally. I'm thinking of Auntie Tilly now, where he had literally 1 or 2 experiences, and the impact that Jodi made on Auntie Tilly's life. Various people.
Good answer. Take your time. Take your time. Move the last one. Even the last one now. So because we want to. Then it's fine. Thank you. Okay.
Wish that I could find the words to describe you now, as I'm lying next to you and the world goes quiet. Wish that I could make you see how you fit me perfectly, and I fall for you again. We've been through it all. You're the one who understands. In a world where hope grows thin, you've completed me. And the story left within tells
You never said I'm leaving. You never said goodbye. You were gone before I knew it, and only God knew why. A million times I needed you. A million times I cried. If love alone could have saved you, you never would have died. In life I loved you dearly. In death I love you still. In my heart you hold a place that no one could ever fill. It broke my heart to lose you, but you didn't go alone. For part of me went with you, the day God took you home.
the one to make things right, and I fall for you again. We've been through it